People, Deluded. Now, bit of a random vid. Clearly I'm walking. Apologies for any background noise or anything distracting you from what I'm saying. But what was I gonna say? I think I'm coming down with either the flu or food poisoning. Not been able to keep anything down. Got a doctor's appointment later. Sorry people, I'm just looking at the blue lights and the police thing. I was wondering, blue tape, sorry, wondering what could have possibly happened in Central. But yeah, I went to the doctors today. Feeling a bit under the weather. Like, it's actually nothing to do with the fact that Spurs are in the final. Of course, that's enough to make anybody sick. But first and foremost, you got to give them credit where due, man. Obviously, it's Spurs, it's Arsenal. They don't want us to succeed. We don't want them. If they go and win champs, obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so I'm not going to say they're a bigger club than us, but there's a serious debate to be had. There's no excuses. Apologies for the noise. It's a fantastic achievement, people, collectively, from the manager to Pochettino. Kane weren't playing, but Kane's done his thing previously. Son done his thing in the round before. Moura done his thing, getting a hat-trick. So collectively, different individuals are pulling it out, innit? Hasn't been perfect, but it's there. For me personally, it almost mirrors Chelsea in a sense. When Chelsea won it in 2012, they almost went out in the group stages, people. Spurs almost went out in the group stages. So for me, I've accepted that a lot, man. I've accepted that Spurs are going to win it, people. But I know plenty... Great stuff. I know plenty of Arsenal fans will probably be sitting there and thinking, like, surely the club's got to react. Like, what on for this? Like, Spurs are leapfrogging us and doing their thing. And even Spurs, from a league campaign, if you ask Poch, he'd probably not be happy with how they've been domestically in the league. Yeah, they haven't drawn many games, but it hasn't been the best of seasons from Spurs in the league. Obviously, on the collective thing, he will take what he's got, but probably won't. And the fact that Spurs have been appalling and they still managed to finish ahead of us, that's something we used to do. I know many Arsenal fans are going to hope that the club reacts and hope that, obviously, seeing Spurs, Liverpool in the final / mathematically can still actually win the Prem. So in theory, the double's still on for Liverpool. I'll definitely be supporting them in the final. But I know many people will see what City have done, compare City 10 years ago. Well, oh wait, they started this stuff, but you get what I mean. Compare City or so a period ago. Spurs are making a rise, didn't sign a player, got a stadium. All the nonsense that we was told as Arsenal fans was going to hold us back doesn't appear to be holding them back so far. Obviously, Liverpool, special things with Klopp. I believe even if Klopp ends up trophyless this season, hopefully he doesn't, because I need him to beat Spurs. Been a terrific manager and had a terrific season. So, historically, we rival Liverpool. Historically, we know Spurs. Chelsea have a final, and they'll be back. And we need to remember, Chelsea won the league 2 years ago or so, so they can do things. United, fair enough, they're a bit of a special case at the moment, but we always know they're, maybe not so much now, but they're going to spend money and try and get back into it. So I think you're just hurting yourself, Arsenal fans, fellow Arsenal fans, if you're sitting there and you're hoping the club reacts and thinks, oh, Spurs are ahead of us, boom. Because for me anyway, shouldn't the alarm bells have rang? Do you remember like 2-3 seasons ago, there was one season we really made a mess of it and we just about finished ahead of Spurs. Then the following 2 seasons, 3 now including this current one that we're in, they finished ahead of us. So surely the alarm bells would have been ringing. If you're looking at Spurs, you're thinking, oh, they're doing their thing, Poch is doing his thing, got a good crop of players. If they just get 2-3, you know Spurs can do something special. But if you're not going to react the season or definitely the second season they finish ahead of you, why are you going to react that they're in the Champions League? Now we haven't been serious in the Champions League since 2006, in my opinion. They've now matched us in that they're in the final. Personally, I think they're going to win it, people. Of course, I hope to be wrong, but I think they're going to win it. So all you can do is sit there. It's got to get worse before it gets better, people. If the budget really is the budget, again, I'm speaking for most Arsenal fans, I don't feel we need £200 billion and all of them mad figures there to sign players. But it'd be nice to have a suitable budget around 100 or just so. And it'd be nice for Emery if he was able to identify any target, if he could just go out there and get it and offer the funds. So I think it's got to get worse for it's got to get better, people. There's a lot of changing in regards to players that need to be moved on, players that need to come in. In an ideal world, I don't advocate, let me move from that. I don't advocate for wholesale changes, but we're at the point, look at the nitties, people, rather than Central. But we're at the point, clearly, you'd probably just take that in that if we could get probably 10 or so players out that probably don't need to be in there, get a backup, a new left back in to compete with Kohler and long term for Monreal, back up for right back, allow Maitland-Niles to play in midfield if that's what we want to do, centre half, 2 sorts of central midfielders, a wide man of sorts, promote Nelson and Amici towards the end, Amici at some point and give Saka chances. All this is going to take time, but at the point we just got to start afresh, and it's got to get worse before it gets better, people. Like, there's no point sitting there thinking we're going to do business and have optimism in the summer, there's no point looking at Spurs and Liverpool and thinking, Arsenal are gone, because we're at different periods. Liverpool for years were kind of like this. And like I said, man, is it John Henry? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but John Henry, Klopp, the people at the boardroom, they want to win stuff. That's why the players are galvanised. Spurs is a bit different, because I feel Levy, he needs to invest, man. He's doing Spurs dirty in that 2-3 quality players, they can do something mad. Do you see what I'm saying? And a couple decent little squad additions can do something mad. And surely he's thinking of it now that they've got to the final. But on the flip side of that, Poch had no money and he's got to the final and he's been doing good jobs. So I wouldn't say he's happy to work with the conditions, but to a degree, in terms of finances available and lists of targets, it's very similar to an Emery. So Levy might be looking at it as, you don't need no money. Obviously, the season isn't going to be the same, and Spurs can kick on. It's up to in regards to Spurs, this has just come to my head. I think the players will stay and stuff, but maybe if they don't win it, that's as far as some of them that have been there since Poch has come in or really turned things around. They think that's it. But in short, people, there's no point dreaming and stuff. You just deal with reality, man. For me, it's got to get worse, or it's got to get better. Because there's several things off the field, on the field, etc. And I love my club, and I haven't talked bad about, said anything mad, people. I know you lot hear me. Obviously, in the future, I'm trying to be working for Arsenal and that, so I'm being careful. But yeah, people, there's no point looking at Liverpool and them teams there and Spurs and thinking, all right, when's Arsenal going to back up the ideas? But we're not. Our top, like, look at our wide options, not to dig anyone else out. One's having the best goal scoring season they've possibly had, and it's only 5 goals. Brother, I thought you tried to kick me there. You're gonna get ripped. But you get the point. Like, you get the point. But like, yeah, people, man, there's not really much more for me to say in it. Obviously, I'm just walking around. This was a random vid, and yeah, man, I'm out, man.